2 of the Altoona tournament between the Immanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Hudson Raiders. The Lancers doing their first one in 3 sets against Ellsworth, with Hudson beating them in 2 sets. Close. Last one came close, 25-23. Handled them cleanly in the first one, 25-15. As they are 1-0 on the day, 21-4 currently on the year, ranked 19th in Wisconsin, with the Lancers being 15-13 now, ranked 187th. And they'll get their first win on the day in the final pool play game of the day. They'll be seeded after this. They'll hope to get hopefully a bye if they can get a win here. If not, they'll play in the first round, which should start at about 12:31-ish. And starting off the serving for the Lancers will be Leduc. Let me see in the back, and it's set one all the way across on the run. Good tap to the back, Luke right there to get it. Back all the way across for Radical. Diving save, that one heads out of play. The Lancers start off with a 1-0 lead. Clean in the back, and they set one up quickly center. Tip to the net, diving attempt by Luke, can't get there in time. Regardless, Lancers were in the net. As the Raiders side up now at 1. They make the serve now will be Zeller. Sliding safe from Starlin, Radical on the run, can't get there in time. As the Raiders go up now by 1, 2-1. Lancers got the break before this. Raiders have to play 2 straight, which means they're warmed up and could be a tad tired, especially showed that in that last set against Ellsworth. As this one set across for Radical. Running to the back by Rivera, set up quickly on the run again. That one will drop down in front of Gurgle. And the Raiders are up by 2 now, 3-1. Radical. Back up for Radical. That one goes long. Radical pins it against the net. Tip back. And it'll be Thompson who will bump it over. Back up center. Back line. Close on the back line. Doesn't matter because Lancers were in the net. As the Raiders up by 3 now, 4-1. Footfault on Zeller. Came fairly close on those last few. Wasn't called, and then Lancers made a point to let them know to keep an eye on it. And that one was just about all the line. As Thompson will head back to serve, diving save, going to tip this one back high to the back line. And running saved by Gurgle. Back across, Radical, and that's going to have to bump it over. So quickly and set back. Off the net, one hand straight from Thompson. Miscommunication, no one goes for it. As the Raiders get it back, now up by 3. And it'll be Grayer in the serve. Miscommunications again as Luke backpedaled to get it. Starland ran up and then stopped. Ended up dropping out right in front of the Lancer bench. It's a call timeout. 6-2, down by 4. Back to the timeout. Lancers down by 4, 6-2 with Dreyer still serving. The big back pedals. Gurgle trying to send it back on the card. Long ready to go for Starlin, but couldn't make it over. Set back across the other side. Dropping it down. That's Aspen will get the kill as Lotion comes in for Starlin. Good Gives the Raiders now a 5-point lead, 72. On the sideline, Lutheran running it back in the air, sent all the way across for Radical. Tipped out of play. Off the hands of Burns. And the Lancers now within 4, 7-3. As Quaid and Bartles Leonard. And it'll be Bartles back to third. Tip back high. Burns will send one up off the ceiling. And that one not going to make it over. Benson from Zeller to get underneath it. Not quite enough on it to get over. As the Lancers get it back now within 3, 7-4. Diving save of Valera. Step back up on the run. Right to the hands of Luke. All the way across for Radical. Good touch, and she'll drop another one down. Up center by McCarthy, gonna set one all the way across. Good touch off the net. Diving save from Thompson, off the net. Thompson sends him back, but off. So Larson sends him back. Ends up going off and foul pole. As the Raiders bring it up now by 3, 8-5. With McCarthy heading back to serve. Step back up for Radical on the run. She'll knock down another. Bouncing up off the hands of Dreher. And the Lancers get it right back within 2, 8-6. With Radical heading back to serve. Backpedaling is Aspen. Gonna set one up for her. That one heads out of play. The Lancers get it back within 1 now, 8-7. Back now with a chance to tie it up. Well, off this one short, diving, saving to back up. Sets it across for Aspen, diving time from Radical. Loop back up. Bartles long way to go and gonna get it over. Sent back high, quick set center. And just on the sideline, regardless, Lancers in the net. That was Quaid. Lucy gonna enter in for Raiders. With number 1 Burns heading back to serve. Dug up from Radical. Thompson sends one across for Duke. Tips the net and sent back high. Back up near side for Aspen. Tips the net again. Thompson right there to get it. Larson will send one up and into the net. Sideline, Larson gonna let it go. And it'll go back to the Lancers within 2 now, 10-8. Starlin back in for Larson, and it'll be Starlin back to serve. Off the top of that, gonna go right back to the Raiders now as they bring it within 3. And it'll be Aspen back to serve. Go ahead and get Seibel in for Starlin. Back to the hands of Radical. Thompson across for Leduc. Running safe from Aspen in the back. This one back at the fadeaway to get it. Still going to make it over. Radical right there. Again for Leduc. Sliding save once again by Aspen. Set back on the run to the net and out of play. As the Raiders go back up. 5-4, 12-8. With Aspen heading back once again. Injuring save by Leduc, sent back high from Thompson. And miscommunication as Leduc and Radical collide. The Raiders now up by 5, 13-8. Right up by Radical. Set up high for Luke, close to the net, and punched into the net. As the the Raiders now up by 6, 14-8. Dug up 5 from Radical. Thompson across for Leduc again. Nothing saving the air by Valero. Step back across off the net. Tip tie from Radical. Thompson gets sent on back over. Leduc save gets it back in the air and he'll send it to the back line. Back up for Leduc again. To the back line. Diving save once again. Sent back. And tapped into the net. Ends up going down as 4 hits. Lancers going to touch that net. As Gurgle enters back in for Quaid. And it'll be Gurgle back to serve. Short. And they'll give it right back to the Raiders as Kazemba enters in for Gurgle. And it'll be the Libero bow back to serve. On the sideline, up the hands and leap to the floor. As the Raiders knock down an ace now, up by 7. Gives it back to Lance as they hit double digits now within 6. With Koenig entering in for Bartles. And it'll be Leduc back to serve for the Lancers. Aspen's on the take it. They tip one back off the net. Punch back over. Radical's there. Back up for Radical. Block off the net. Tip tie from Thompson. Cyber retreat for something back up for Koenig. So bump it off the net. Running safe from Aspen. Set back on the run. Gets through. Tip tie from Kazemba. Ends up off the bottom of the net. As the Raiders go back up by 7, 17-10. Entering in is Harold, who will head back to serve. 5 from Kazemba. Thompson all the way across for Radical. Good touch, and it'll drop down. Right over the lock and into the hands of Ivan McCarthy. And the Lancers back within 6 now, 17-11. And Thompson back to serve, not before a quick timeout from the Lancers. Down by 6, 17-11 here in the first set. Back for the timeout. Lancers down by 6 here in the first set, 17-11. There's Thompson back to serve for the Lancers. Fly off the hand, sent back high from Aspen on the run. Tries to bump it over and will. Larson back up for Radical. Blocks the net, tip back high from Radical. Send it back across for Larson. She'll send one over. Straight to the hands of Libero. Set back on the run, close to that. Sent right back down by Larson. Putting the Lancers back within 5 now, 17-12. Sent high. So quickly center. Bad angle. Sent into the net. Bumped back over on the return. Larson back across for Radical again. Back up the nets, and it'll be 4 hits. Putting the Lancers now within 4. Good spot from Thompson. Diving save. Got set one quickly on the side. number right there to get it. All the way across for Radical. Blocks that chip high from Koenig. Thompson set back for Koenig. Good touch. Losing save, gonna set one back near side. Losing save from Radical. Back up for Radical. Gonna loft over to block, sent back by Burns. Blocks on it. Koenig will drop down. Koenig and Larson getting up once again to bring the Lancers back within 3. Send one high, Burns back across, and we tapped it from the back by Aspen. Thompson back up for Radical. Gonna set one down the line, just out of play. Right idea, just couldn't quite knock it down as the run ends, but the Lancers get it back within 4 now, 18-14. And Dreher will head back to serve. Sliding safe from Luke. Larson sends him back high. Step it from back row. We'll just bump it over. Step back near side. Dropping it down. Hard off the hands of December. That's Aspen will get the kill, putting the team back up by 5. 5 from Luke. Thompson all the way across for Radical. That one heads out of play. Was it touched? They're going to say it was. And they'll have a talk at the net as one line judge called touch. Initially called out of play, untouched, and they will keep that call. The chair ref will overrule. Keeps the Raiders up by 6, 20-14. Save from Radical. Step back across, and it'll be Koenig go bump it over. Step back quickly, center, blocking up by Radical, and out of play. Off the hands of Harold. Bring the Lancers back within 5, 20-15, as Bartles and Quaid enter back in for Kazemba and Koenig. Let's set one back. Near side for Aspen. Diving save from Radical. Line drive into the net. Only got a piece at the net. Putting the Raiders back up now by 6. 21-15. And it'll be McCarthy back to serve. After the Duke, Radical going to send it all the way across for Quaid. Blocks the net. Dropping down off the hands of the Duke. As the Raiders pulling away here towards the end. Lancers got it back a little bit closer. Raiders big response, and they're now back up by 7, 22-15. Off the short, running safe from the Duke. Thompson back up for Quaid. The back line, out of play. 23-15. Sending across for Quaid. Down to the back line, and once again out of play. A little bit closer, but still not enough. As the Raiders bring it now just 1 point away, up by 9, 24-15. As McCarthy back to take the set. Back up quickly for Radical. She'll knock one down. Off the hands of Harold once again. And the Lancers back with an 8, 24-16. And it'll be Radical back to serve. Receive time in the back, and they set one up quickly right back to her. Diving save by Radical, tip back high for Radical, who sends it out of play. 25-16, the final score of the first set as the Raiders take set 1. And they'll look to finish it off in set 2 coming up in about 3 minutes. second set. Lancers drop for the first one by 9, 25-16. And it'll be Zeller starting off the serving here in the first sliding save from Leduc. Tipped out of play by Starland. And the Raiders start off with a 1-0 lead. High from Gurgle. Starland back up for Thompson. Tip of the net. Now drop down onto the back line. As Thompson still brings them back even at 1. And it'll be Leduc back to serve for the Lancers. Back and Schultz have to bump it over. Lancers chance to get set. Thompson pumps it up for Radical. Good touch to the back line. Lunging safe. Tip back across off the net. Off the hands of Gurgle. Handing right back up for Radical again. That one off the hands of Lavero and out of play. Radical's kill, but the Lancers now up by 1, 2-1. Luke sends one center for Aspen. Set quickly center. Drop it down on the sideline. That was McCarthy. We'll tie this one up now at 2. And it'll be Dreher in. And she'll head back to serve. Lancers 3-2. And my common theme for Hudson today has been struggling to get their serve over. Dropped between that first set, dropped a whole lot against Ellsworth. Good spot there from Thompson. Sliding in by Dreher. Set quickly center. Took it to net. Diving save from Gurgle. Tip back guy from Thompson. Sent back down. By McCarthy once again. McCarthy back to serve as he ties this one up at 3. Dug up from Radical. Set back up for Radical. Took it to net. One-handed save by Dreher. Set back across on the run for Aspen. Into the net. And Lancers right back up by 1, 4-3. Wade and Bartles in for Koenig and Gurgle. And it'll be Bartles back to serve. Saving back, gonna set one back across for Aspen. That'll drop down in between Leduc and Bartles. And again, right back up at 4 as Larson enters in for Starland. And it'll be Burns back to serve for the Raiders. Sliding save for Luke, set back up for Larson. Timothy, that's now one will head out of play. As Larson bringing the Lancers up by 1, 5-4. And now Radical back to serve. Off one short, and that'll drop down. This time the dive ended up coming up nothing. As an ace for Radical, putting the Lancers up now by 2, 6-4. Servicing short as well. So receive cleanly, set back for Aspen. Offensive Radical line drive out of play. Another kill for Aspen, brings him back within 1. And it'll be Aspen back with a chance to tie as well. Holding safe from Larson, now finds the over, sent right back, tipped under the net by Quaid. Starland enters back in for Larson. And Aspen heads back with a chance to take a lead. Retreats and look at the back in the air, step back across for Leduc. That one will drop down under the back. Nope, out of play. And untouched by the Raiders as well. Puts the Raiders up by 1, 7-6. Off the net, tip back high from Thompson. Sterling bumps one back for Quaid. Missed time to jump, still going to get over, tip to the net. Set back row for Ashton, she'll loft him to the back, tip high from Bartles. Thompson clean set for Leduc. And off the foul pole out of play. 8-6 now as the Raiders go up by 2. Plug up from Radical. Back up high for Leduc again. Blocks the net, tipped high from Thompson. Radical going to just set one over. Set back near side. That one tipped out of play from Radical. As the Raiders go up by 3 now, 9-6. Close to that, Thompson sent one back for Quaid to the back line, sent back across from Aspen. He punched over, Radical right there to get it. This time for Leduc. Off the net, out of play, was it touched? And they're going to say it was. And I'm going to talk with the chair ref. And she said it was touched out of play. Raiders saying that they never touched it, should be 4 hits. And the call will stand. Lancers bring back within 2, 9-7. Sterling still serving. Sliding save, gonna set one back near side. And that one out of play down the sideline as well. But the Lancers back within 1. Back now with a chance to tie it at 9. Williams save, gonna tip him back off the net, tipped right back over, Quaid is there. Radical back up for Leduc on the run. Tip to net, back high from Aspen, set up high from Burns. That one hits out of play, untouched by the Lancers, as they tie it up now at 9. Set a slim lead. Raiders came back to give themselves a slim lead, and now Lancers brought it back even. With a chance to take another lead here. Back across near side, off the net, tip tie from Stalin. Bartles gets back in the air. Radical long way to go. Ain't gonna make it over. Quick set center. Tip from Stalin and out of play. And the Raiders hold on to a 1-point lead, 10-9. Short Luke on the run, gonna get it up and out of play onto the Raiders side. Off the net, Radical London saving it back in the air, back up for Quaid, tipped up high by Burns, back across from Aspen. Now he'll have to bump it over. Lancers chance to get set. Back up for Thompson. Tip to the net, running save from Aspen once again. Sets one back. Off the tip on the block. Back across from Quaid for Radical. Tip to the net, diving save. Back in the air. And gonna make it over. Lancers another chance here, up for Thompson. Quaid will take it, bump it over, running save on the libero. Back up center. Tip to the ground and touchdown. Right back up now by 3, 12-9. High from Leduc. Bartles bumps it up on the run for Quaid. Good spot, and then it'll drop down. Got it around the block and dropped it down in front of Aspen. The Lancers get it back within 2 now, 12-10. And it'll be Gurney now back to serve. Save. Set back near side. Kazumba now going to enter in for Girdle. And it'll be Harold back to serve. Save on the Duke. Up center for Thompson. Blocked at the net. Tip pass from December. Back eye from Thompson close to the net. John trying to punch back over. Sent back to the Lancer side. Up for Bartle. Blocked the net again. Tip high from Radical. Back and Bartles again. Bad spot. Tip back high. And Starling will send it over. Back across near side. Good touch. That'll drop down. Off the hands of Ivan Starling. To 10 now, a 4-point lead. Go back to the Lancers, they get it back within 3 as Katie gets in for Bartles, and it'll be Luke back to serve. Shooting the back set quickly, center, out one to the back line, and a play. The Lancers back within 2 now, 14-12. Good spot, diving save, gonna set one back on the run, blocked at the net, tipped it out of play! Blocked from Koenig as the Lancers get it back within 1, 14-13. Luke now back with a chance to tie. Spot down the line, gonna set real quickly, set it, it's gonna tap it over, Thompson right there to get it. Koenig bumps one back for Thompson. Good touch over the block, sent back along the net line. Good pick over the net, Radical gets it back high. Thompson back up for Radical. Blocked at the net, that one heads back down to the Lancer side. Putting the Raiders back up by 2. Back to serve. Save by Duke. Thompson sends it all the way up for Radical. That one high off the ceiling. Back up. Blocked at the nets and sent back high. Back across near side. Burns saved by Radical. Took back high for Duke. And Thompson will bump it over. Running save in the back. On the run for Aspen. Out of play. Untouched. Timeout by the Raiders. After the timeout, 15-14, Lancers back with a chance to tie. It'll be Thompson back to serve. Off the top of the net. Number 4 for the Raiders now. McCarthy back to serve. Right to the hands of Radical. Thompson back for Radical. To the net. The line's right back to the net. Set back across far side. Off the net and drops down in front. Luke's gonna dive. Larson back in for Starland. And it'll be McCarthy back to serve. Back from Luke. Thompson across for Radical. Watch net. Drop him down in front of Kazemba. As the Raiders once again bring it up by 4. The back receive time from Radical. Back across for Radical. Good touch over the block. Tip back. Diving save. And that one heads out of play. Lancers get it back within 3 now. 18-15. As Bartle and Quaid are in for Kazemba and Koenig. And it'll be Bartle back to serve. Good spot, sliding save, and a bump him back high on the run. Asmus to stop and come back for it. Diving save from Radical. Quaid sends him back high. Long way to go for Larson. Gonna get it over. Set quickly center. Good touch and over the hands of a jumping Larson. Drop it down on the sideline. As the Raiders bring it back up by 4. Lucille under in, and it'll be Burns back to serve. Into the net. Going right back to the Lancers within 3. Lancers lost first set by 9, 25-16 there at 16 here. Within 3 of the Raiders. Radical back to serve. Straight center for Dreher. Set all the way across for Aspen on the run. That one heads out of play. The Lancers get it now within 2, 19-17. Off this one short, off the net, it drops down for an ace. As that one came close to bouncing right back, just enough on it to roll it over. As the Lancers get it back within 1 now, and Radical back with a chance to tie. High from Jared, close enough, gonna set one back off it for Aspen. High off the hands of Barnes out of play. Brings the Raiders back up by 2, 20-18. High from Radical. Back across for Luke. Tip for that, tip back high. And Snap to bump it over. Lancers chance to get set. Across from Quaid. Tip to net, back across. And from back row, we'll tap it over. Larson back up now for Leduc. To the back line, tip back towards the net. Back up the inside, blocked on the net line, down to the Lancer side. They will call their final timeout. 21-18, down by 3. The 3-point lead for the Raiders after taking the first set, 25-16. As they'll try to end this one in 2, curling just 4 points away. 2 ties from Radical. Back across for Leduc. Tipped out of play. Off the hands of Burns. Good for Leduc, bringing the Lancers back within 2 as Starlin enters in for Larson. And Starlin heads back to serve. Save. Tip tie from Burns back across your side. Tip for that, and it'll drop down. Straight center court. Gets served right back to the Raiders up by 3, 22-19. Diving save from Radical. Sent back across for Leduc. So this bummer to the back, running save. Set back. Blocked at the net by Leduc. Gonna go opposite side. That one gonna get down. Up around the block and under the sideline. down by 4, 23-19. Back to the timeout, 23-19, Raiders up by 4. As they're just 2 points away from taking the second set and improving to 2-0 on the day. This one will drop down in front of Cardinals. For Raider Ace, putting them up now by 5. Saved by Luke. Starting to set one back for Thompson. This ball from Thompson, diving save. Gonna set one back high near side. Right to the hands of Radical. This one up for Luke. Right to the hands of Aspen. Set back on the run. Cross court, tipped up and out of play. And that'll do it. The Raiders win it in 2, 25-16 and 25-19. As they improve to 2-0 on the day, 22-4 on the year. As the Lancers drop to 0-2 on the day. And now 15-14 on the year. They have at least one game left to be placed in the brackets, and they'll be playing at about 30-ish minutes. Most likely a 10, 11, or 12 seed. And we'll get that to you as soon as possible. Expected to be on in about 30 to 45 minutes for our first game of the elimination tournament. Lancers dropped this one and dropped it 0-2 on the day.